of the academic year 2014-15. And thanks to our students who are here, and thanks for everybody else who joined us from other departments of UMass Dartmouth, and we truly hope you're going to enjoy the talk. Today we've got Dr. Sadler, who will be talking about factors influencing college success in mathematics. How do decisions made by high school students and teachers play out in college calculus? Dr. Sadler first earned a Bachelor of Science degree in physics from MIT in 1973 while co-authoring a textbook on introductory calculus that was the first to combine computer and laboratory experiences. He then taught middle school science, engineering, and mathematics, including calculus, for several years before earning a doctorate in education from Harvard in 1992. Dr. Sadler has taught Harvard's courses for students preparing to be science teachers and for the next generation of science professors. As F.W. White Senior Lecturer in Astronomy, he carries on Harvard's oldest undergraduate course in science, Celestial Navigation, which applies mathematics to problems in navigation and mapping. He directs the CFA's Science Education Department, one of the largest such research groups in STEM education. He serves on editorial boards for several research journals and advisory boards for national professional societies. Dr. Sadler's research program includes assessment of students' scientific misconceptions and how they change as a result of instruction, the development of computer technologies that allow youngsters to engage in research, the transition to college of students who wish to pursue STEM careers, and models for enhancement of the skills of experienced teachers. Just a few interests. In 1999, Dr. Sadler won the Journal of Research in Science Teaching Award for work on assessing student understanding in science, given yearly for the most significant contribution to science education research. He won the Astronomical Society of the Pacific's Brennan Prize for contributions to astronomy teaching in 2002. He has thrice been awarded the Computers and Physics Prize by the American Institute of Physics. Dr. Sadler was awarded the 2010 American Astronomical Society Education Prize, and in 2012, the Robert Millikan Medal of the American Association of Physics Teachers. Materials and curricula developed by Dr. Sadler are used by an estimated 15 million students every year. It is our pleasure and honor to have Dr. Sadler here today, and with that, I want to leave the floor to him. Welcome.
Thank you for that great introduction. Well, Jim Kaput was a friend of mine, and we never saw each other in Massachusetts. We'd just see each other in Washington when we were there to try to get money. And then we talked together about our common interest in the teaching of calculus. Today, I'm going to mainly talk about the teaching of calculus, but also touch on some of the other research that my group has done. So there was an abstract, which you don't have to read now, and I want to tell you a little bit more about my background. When I was an undergraduate student at MIT a long time ago, I got involved in a calculus project, and this was the calculus of applications. And my job was to develop computer software for the teaching of calculus on large, what's now handheld computers, but back then were desktop computers, and laboratory experiments for the teaching of calculus. And I'll give you an example of one of them. This was the textbook we created, and you can see down below here, let's see if my little pointer works here. Let's see. Do I have is the cursor up there?
Yes.
Okay. Is it still there?
Where do you want it to be?
No. Is it still? That's good. Okay. So the seminal experience I had as an undergraduate in mathematics at MIT was working on the development of what's called a bubble accelerometer. Now, this is familiar to some people. This is like on the bottom of the screen, this is like a bubble level that a carpenter uses, but it's calibrated in acceleration. So it's easy to calibrate it. This is calibrated, these markings are in 1 mile per hour per second, a change in speed of 1 mile an hour per second. And we developed this device, and let's see if I can turn on the pointer to be permanent. Let's see. We developed this device and had students build them. And what they did with them was they went on the subway in Boston, and they produced graphs of acceleration. This is acceleration versus time, taken every 5 seconds between 2 stops on the subway. You can see the acceleration went up to a higher level, about 2.5 miles per hour per second. And this can just be integrated through addition. So we just add these things up. We did it by hand back then, but now you use a spreadsheet, and you can get the speed of the subway car just from reading these bubble marks and writing them down. So this subway car had a top speed, the driver tested his brakes, another speed came back into the station, and you can integrate again to get the distance traveled. And this, to me, connected the calculus and the physics together in a way that was really concrete and very, very useful. And I've carried this with me. This got me interested in the teaching of calculus. The other thing, let's see, do I have one more? Oh yeah, there's one more thing here. Also, I've been able to use mathematics to make money, which is like a really important application of mathematics. So I took topology at MIT, and from that course developed the first portable planetarium. And now these planetariums are used all over the world. There's about 3,000 of them. And the topology allowed me to design an inflatable dome and a projector that was an order of magnitude less expensive than any planetarium available in the world. So the mathematics had a real application to my business career. So I want to talk mainly about college calculus. So college calculus is a gatekeeper course for many students. Many students come to the university wanting to major in science or pre-med or mathematics, and that college calculus course, they either do well in it or poorly in it. And if they do poorly, they can it can end their career, their fledgling career in STEM or medicine. So, but very little is known about the backgrounds of these students and how what happens in high school plays out in these in college calculus. So let's skip that. So I have a question for you, which sort of helps to focus what I'm going to talk about. So, how many of you are college teachers of mathematics? Okay. How many are studying to be faculty, or how many are trying to get their PhDs now in mathematics? Okay. And how many undergraduates? Do we have any undergraduates here? One undergraduate. And do you want to be a math teacher or math professor?
Yeah.
Math teacher. Okay. So, how many of you have taken calculus? Okay. So, if you could change one thing about the teaching of high school mathematics to better prepare students for succeeding in college calculus, what would it be? If you were the czar or czarina and actually had that power. So, I want you to think about it. Then I want you to turn to somebody near you and tell them what you think that thing is. And I'll give you a little bit of time to do that.